Hey everybody, so today is the first day of the new marathon training block. I'm pretty excited to get out there and get this one done. I've got a couple things on tap for today. I am going to go out for an easy run to get started. And then later on this afternoon, I've got a 20-minute workout doing a little bit of weight training. This is the part that I struggled with in the past because what would happen is I'd just simply go out a little bit too hard when I was lifting weights, and then I would get sore, and then it was difficult to run the next day. So I never was able to get it to be ingrained in my workout plan the way that I wanted it to, because I just didn't approach it correctly. You know, I just didn't implement it the way that I should have in a more gradual process, I guess. So hopefully today I'm not going to overdo it. It's 20 minutes of body weight training, so that's what I'm going to be working on. All right, enough about that. I'm going to get into it. All right, we'll let you know how it goes. I'll keep you updated. Oh, so I just finished up with that first run of the brand new training block. It went really well. I'm wearing the New Balance Fresh Foam X More V4, so they've earned a spot in my rotation, especially on the easy run days like today, or all of those recovery runs I have to look forward to. So I really enjoyed it. It was fun to get back out there and get started again. It's hard to believe that it's here already and that Chicago's just 16 weeks away. It'll be here before you know it. So, all right, I've got a little bit more yet to do today. Got some weight training, as I mentioned, or if I didn't mention, I've got about 20 minutes of weight training to do yet. And then that we'll complete the workout for today. And so far, so good. Hey, we're off to a really good start. So I thought it'd be fun to go back and take a look at the first run of my previous training block compared to this one, just kind of see where we're at, see what kind of starting point we're beginning from. But before I do that, I do want to give a shout out to Matt for a comment of the day. Matt commented on the last video, which was the Asics Gel Nimbus 25 going up against the Bondi 8. He basically was pondering the question, is it worth the extra weight to get the extra cushion underfoot? And I agree with him. I absolutely think about that sometimes myself, especially when we do have shoes like the Nova Blast 3 that are both highly cushioned and lightweight. But that said, I did run today, that easy run in the New Balance Fresh Foam X More V4. So I loved it. It's a heavy shoe, but highly cushioned, and it did well for today. But I do sometimes wonder, is it actually worth all of that extra weight that we're sometimes carrying around on our feet just to get that little bit of extra cushion when there are other alternatives? And so, question of the day for everyone else out there, what's your favorite easy run shoe? Let's hear about it in the comments section. We'll talk about it. Okay, with that, I'm going to look at my computer because I went to connect.garmin.com already, and I've got the run that I completed today paired up next to the very first easy run of the last training block for Boston, just to kind of see where we stand. So I'm going to kind of turn and look at my computer. And right off the bat, there's a time difference. So today was a little less time. In total, it was 40 minutes. And I'm sure that it was probably 55 minutes for the last easy run from the previous training block, which meant I went a little less distance today, 4.85 miles versus 5.15 miles. 41 minutes versus 56 minutes. Big difference in the temperature, by the way. I probably should have started there. 63 degrees today when I was out for that morning run. It was 32 degrees on that first run for the Boston training block. So big difference in temperature. I much preferred today's run over that one. All right, in terms of weather-wise, anyway. Another big difference average pace. Okay, so the very first run for Boston was a 10:53 minute mile pace. So I was maybe walking fast. It really was jogging at best. But today was 8:32 minute mile pace. So I like the fact that I'm starting out at a slightly better place in terms of my my overall pace, just because maybe I won't have quite so far to go this time around. We'll see. Best pace was an 8:30 versus 7:16 today. And I'm going to scroll down here a little bit more and get down to my heart rate, because that kind of comes down to it, really. To me, I think that's just a good indicator of my overall physical fitness and the stress that it's putting on me to achieve the same paces or better. And I went from a 153 beats per minute to 147 beats per minute. So I think that I'm starting off in a pretty good place. And then also cadence. Let me see. Let's find my cadence. Average cadence. Average cadence, the last go around was 169 steps per minute. Average cadence today was 180 steps per minute. And again, it was an easy run. I was running in the Fresh Foam More V4, which is a heavy shoe, and not exactly turning my feet over all that quickly. But it felt good. Really felt good today. So I'm really happy with the way things have kicked off. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit more. I guess we have some lap times here. So we can see, of course, my laps are based on 1 mile. So it started out 8:19 versus 10:10. 8:18 today, 10:54 before, 8:35 versus 11:18, 8:48, 7:38. Wow, I was moving at the at one point, and then 8:49 versus 11:05 run. So there it is, kind of a quick comparison. Overall, I think that I'm starting at a pretty good place, and I think in part there's a couple of things going on here that accounts for the differences. Number one, I've done a little bit more of that pre-training block base building this time around. So, I was injured, of course, when I went to Boston and had to lay off running for a bit. And then I started to come back from running and just being out there for the fun of it, just really just enjoying, running. Didn't do any kind of speed work. Kept it all easy. A lot of the workouts or runs that I went out on averaged anywhere from 6 to 12 miles at a time. And many of them were, 8, 10, 12 miles for the ones that I did do prior to starting today. And so I think that makes a difference. And the other change is, a company had reached out to me called Extreme Endurance. I don't know if you've heard of them before, with a product that they have that's called X Endurance. And the product is designed to be a lactic acid blocker, which just helps to keep your muscles fresh, so that if you don't get all the lactic acid built up in your muscles, they won't fatigue as quickly and you'll recover quicker. So that's what I'm testing out right now, and I've been taking it for a couple of weeks, and so far so good. But I'll do a full video on that later on down the road here. And let you know my full thoughts on it. But right now, I would say it's going pretty well. I can't say for certain that that's accounted for the big differences that I've seen from the start of the last one to this one. But when I looked it up, so when they reached out to me, I didn't just blindly say, yeah, I'll try something new. I took a little while before I got back with them, because I did a little bit of research online and found that there were a number of clinical studies out there that had been done that did show that it did indeed show a decrease in lactic acid buildup in endurance athletes. And these were studies that were done by the professionals in their field. So they stood up to the academic rigors. That was enough for me to say, all right, let's give it a try. So I'll let you know how that goes later on down the road. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.